me and my mama and this girl are making Valentine's Day cupcakes.
What are you eating?
Sprinkles.
Why? Are you helping? Are you helping? You just woke up from a nap?
I ate the powder and it makes my mouth feel weird.
It dried you out.
Yeah. Mom, instead of using eggs, you can use oil, I think.
You gotta use oil and eggs.
That will make it even better. But Mom, look, it's already like a doughy paste.
It is pretty wet. You gotta keep mixing it real good.
So it'll get drier?
Carefully, Ray. You don't want to get shells in there.
No.
One. Two. Three. Good job. Good. There you go. Yummy. Say hi. Hi, everybody. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, tricky to get in there.
Can I dump it in? Ready?
Yep. Use your finger to get it all out, okay? Clean it up real good. This should be perfect. Use your finger, scoop it out.
It's been a few days since we finished up this solar array. I think we finished it last Tuesday or Wednesday. It went into operation. And it's doing pretty good. These are 10 590 watt bifacial panels that we picked up on Facebook Marketplace. And we have another 14 up here on a roof. We have 4 standing vertically, and then we have 10 more on another roof. So altogether we have 40 of these panels. So the 40 panels altogether right now, it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're making almost 7 kilowatts per inverter. This is only data logging on one. There's the consumption, what's going into the battery. These numbers would be doubled. I'm waiting for another data logger to come in. We're charging the Tesla 40 amps. And I have it set that right now to cut off at 4 o'clock because the sun starts, our production values start dying down, and I need to make sure that my batteries are charged for the night. So these 40 590 watt panels, with a decently sunny day, we can produce a pretty good amount of power. On our highest production, we've made 100 kilowatts. We have about a total of 44 kilowatts of storage right now, kilowatt hours of storage. So we were able to top the batteries off. They charge up pretty quick. We are charging the Teslas at 40 amps, one at a time at 40 amps, or we split the charging to 20 amps a piece. Run everything that we're normally running in the house during the day, and the batteries last all night. So we had one instance where I had the system disconnected for a while when we were hooking some things up. I used 7 kilowatts off of the grid. But for the most part, we are on day, I think Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and today, we've used a total of 7 kilowatts off of the grid. So we're doing pretty good. We're on day almost 5 of being totally off grid. And we're going to add some more battery storage because we're going to need to make a little bit more, have a little bit more storage, I think, because we cut it a little close. If we have a cloudy day, I don't charge the Teslas. And when we have a cloudy day, we're still able to charge the batteries pretty much all the way, and we can run most of the things in the house, or all the things in the house. With 40 590 watt bifacial panels, we get that little extra gain from having it being bifacial. And even when it's cloudy, unless it's an absolute downpour, when it's cloudy, we'll still produce 4 to 5 kilowatts on average is what I've seen. It was cloudy this morning and we were still producing that. I slow the charge rate of the Tesla down to about 20 amps while it's cloudy and let the batteries charge, but it's doing pretty well. There's some of the other panels. We have 4 vertical, just because I ran out of room up on the top. We have 14 up on the top. These 4 here, and then we threw 10 of them up there. I was going to stack a bunch of them vertical here and then build a partial array over there before I decided just to go ahead and set it on the front. But you know, these being vertical, I have not noticed much of a difference with the production. So that it's 6 panels on the roof plus these 4 would be 1 array, and then the 10 panels on the roof. This was my original setup that I ran for about 2 months before we finished adding the other panels in. And I don't know, I didn't really notice much of a difference in the 2 arrays, having some vertical. And I know it was winter time, so the vertical panels help with the angle of the sun. You know, but now we're entering February, the sun's up higher than it was, and they're still producing fairly well. And something that I did was I kept them spaced about from the face of the panel to the building is maybe, or the back of the panel to the building is maybe 2 feet. I was hoping to pick up a little bit of reflection here. So I left a gap in between each panel. So as the sun's traveling, we get a little bit of a reflection to the back of these panels. But you know, for a Facebook Marketplace find, we got them for $58 a panel. They were brand new, 590 watt. Well, brand new. There's some slight scratches and things, but I haven't noticed any issues with that. Trina Solar. But I originally started off the day thinking that I was going to start working on the pump house. I don't think I'm going to work on the pump house. I realized it got to be almost noon. It was really cloudy earlier. Wasn't that nice of a day. Chilly. And I thought that maybe I could build a floor around what's there and just kind of cut the floor around and fit it around the existing pipes and electrical that's running up into the pump house. But then after looking at what a crazy project that's going to turn into, the best way for me to probably do it is spend one day disassembling everything, removing the old shed, if you want to call it a shed, then come back early morning, disconnect the well pump, disconnect the electrical, try to build a floor and reconnect all of those things, because we really don't want to be without water for more than a couple hours. I still need to get an aeration tank. I'm walking over to my other project. I have this older mobile home here, and this is what I'm trying to rehabilitate and turn into another rental property. Yesterday we made a pile of debris from the old cabinets and countertops in the kitchen. I'll take you inside and show you what we're working on. It is taking me forever to work on this, but the other thing is I've never worked on a mobile home before, so I am absolutely not used to the way that these things are built. It's a decent size, and what we were fortunate about is we had some plywood floors for the subfloor, so we ripped out all the old carpet in here. This is the kitchen area. It used to have an island here and then a hood vent that was coming down from the ceiling, but I decided to get rid of it because it was partially falling apart. I also want a floor under everything. I don't want a floor around. But I ran into an issue with the old countertops and these cabinets. So the cabinets aren't really cabinets. They're cabinets, but they're not like a traditional cabinet. This just had a small 3/4 by 3/4 strip of wood lining. The countertop was glued and stapled to it, and that's kind of all that there was. And then the face of the cabinets just attached to the countertop. So we're basically going to end up having to do something kind of similar. We'll run probably a 2x4 across the back like a stringer all the way down, some sort of a ledger that we can set some sort of a new countertop. We also have this. It's kind of interesting. The countertops, because of the way this window is, I can't put a regular countertop with a backsplash. I'm going to have to get a countertop that butts right up against the wall like the old ones. But there's just so many of these, like the upper cabinets, that they're decent. We could paint them. I don't really want to waste them. We'll have to rebuild these and try to clean them up and paint them. We'll need some sort of something here. There was a built-in oven, microwave, a radio, all those things. So we pulled all of that out. We have a salvaged hood vent that somebody gave me. So we got to clean it up and repaint it. We took the cabinet that was hanging from here with this old style hood vent over the island, and we cut it. We cut 1/3 of the cabinet off, and then just reattached the trim and the paneling on the side here so that we can attach the hood vent to something, and then we'll paint it all and make it look good. Here we'll just add an oven, a regular electric oven, get rid of the gas. The gas has already been disconnected, so we'll get rid of the gas. Here's something interesting I've never seen before. I was running a wire for the hood vent. Here's the wiring. It was running to an outlet, this mobile home outlet. And on the back of it, the style of these outlets, the wire just laid in the outlet. And then the back of the outlet cover went on, pushed the wires down into these little blade connectors that cut into the wire and made their connection. Haven't come across that before. We're going to put a box in, make these connections, and put a cover plate on it. And we got a lot of work with this drywall, a lot of seams that we got to fix and patch. Here's the old oven that we took out. We're going to replace that with just a floor standing electric oven. This I'm not sure what to do with. I've had a couple people tell me to leave it. It's cool. It's a lot of storage, but I'd have to floor around it. I don't like flooring around it, because if it gets destroyed or something, which at some point in time before I had this, something got locked in here, I guess, and started scratch the walls and scratch this up. I came through and just threw a little spackle on. I was just going to sand it and then paint everything. There's a few of those. This one was all chewed up, so I just put some corners on it. Still need to sand. We got a lot of sanding to do. Even little patches, you just sand and sand and sand. I'm not a fan of that. One of the bedrooms in here, we need to work on very low ceilings. One of the other bedrooms, but this bathroom, I didn't realize that with mobile homes, the mobile home tubs are, I believe, 54 inches wide. Instead of 60 inches by 30 inches like a traditional tub, they're 30 by 54. So these bathrooms are all kind of narrow. And I didn't want to replace it with a mobile home tub. I wanted to put a regular tub. So I bumped the wall out right here, sacrificed a little bit here into this bedroom, but it will give them a regular sized tub. So we did that. There used to be an old air handler here that we removed because we're replacing everything in this mobile home with mini split units. We got one here, which is a 2-ton. I hooked this up real quickly in the summertime because it was roasting in here. But we got a 2-ton mini split there, and we're going to put 1-tons in each bedroom. The master bedroom's pretty big. You got a double closet, another closet, and then walks into the master bathroom, which is a decent size, very decent size. And it was a similar kind of situation. The tub was a garden tub, a giant garden tub. You see the outline here, about 54 inches wide. So built a wall. There was a hot water heater here, so we moved the hot water heater. So we'll build a little closet here, and then hot water heater is going to go over here where there used to be a tiny, like a 24 by 24 stand-up shower. So we're going to put the hot water heater over there. In the backyard over here, we have some metal roofing panels. But you know, a lot of people have been using them for siding, and I've used them for 2 of the buildings that I've built. People use them for building pole barns, and it makes a really good exterior siding material. So that's what we're going to end up doing with this mobile home, is wrap the whole thing, instead of in vinyl, we're going to wrap it in the metal roofing. It's become one of my favorite building materials. That metal roofing, though, is covering the septic tank. You can see part of it there, which I did not know where it was until I was driving my tractor over here, picking up some debris. We got our junk trailer full of trash that I got to take to the dump. But we were picking up some debris, and I drove the tractor into the septic tank and found where it was. I cracked the lid, and the front tire of the tractor fell down into the tank, but I caught myself with the bucket. I was able to push myself out. But one of the annoying things that you run into with these old mobile homes, and I'm sure it's different now, but even like the doors, the door jambs are a particle board, and then the doors are going into these are the latches for the doorknobs. There's no cutout. They just kind of catch this little bit of metal here. So the problem is anything gets too humid or moist, they pop out. We have this whatever was stuck in here trying to scratch its way out. So we got a lot of little patching to do, little repairs to make, but it's coming along. It's been very, very slow. If I could just dedicate a lot of time steadily to this project, I could get it knocked out. But we always have so many interesting things going on that I get sidetracked. And the last big one was this whole solar project that we were working on. The solar project that we were working on ended up taking me, I spent a couple weeks working on that, painting the roofs, putting the panels up on that building. I painted the roofs white. A lot of people told me it wouldn't matter because there's not enough space between the roof and the bifacial panels that it wouldn't matter. If they were white or dark or whatever, I wouldn't pick up any gains, but $50 for a gallon of white Rust-Oleum high gloss paint will clean the roofs. We sprayed, I think I used a total of 4 gallons of paint, $200. Sprayed both of those roofs white. We'll see. And then what I did when I put the panels up, I left a gap in between the rows of panels. So instead of going on the one roof, it's 14 panels. Instead of lining all 14, butting them up tight to each other, I made it 7 and then a space and then 7. And I dropped another space and 7 and 7. So there's kind of in between a cross of high gloss white roof. And on each edge of the panels, there's high gloss white roof. So hopefully we're getting some reflectivity. Yesterday, I saw 10.9 kilowatts of power being produced, 10.99. The maximum it can produce is 11, so I think it was maxing out the inverter. But 11 kilowatts of solar on one inverter, 11 kilowatts of solar was happening on the other inverter. We're making 22 kilowatts. That's the max that we're able to produce. And we did that sustained for, I think, close to 3 hours. The faces of all these cabinets just have a little 3/4 by 3/4 strip on the front of them too. That countertop was laying here, and it was stapled underneath with 1,000,000 staples. So that's what we're doing right now. Well, we added some strips of 2x4 to the back there to catch the countertop, and I just decided to hit the power button on this dishwasher to see, and nothing happened. So it looks like we're either going to replace the dishwasher or do away with it. I'm not exactly sure yet. Maybe replace. It's getting power, but it just doesn't want to turn on. And the people that lived here previously had a pretty bad rat infestation. The rats ate the insulation up. We're making some nests. I found one in a rat trap. I'm not sure if they got in and it's chewed the mess out of things or what, but we'll investigate and see what's going on with it. Hello. You have one free foot.
Controller and something else.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me put this away.
Hey.
Oh no.
How are your cupcakes coming along?
they're good. We made them, but we didn't put the icing sprinkles on it.
Oh, are you going to do that?
Mom wants to. Now, I hope this is good enough.
I'm gonna cut this one out. It's still kind of stuck.
And Mama learned to always use the wrappers.
Hey, look at these babies popping right out. I buttered it. Okay. Fancy. How's it, buddy?
Oh, good. I understand that every time I say something so good, it's jump up on what?
Say Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Let's try his cupcake. They have the teeth crackers. Oop, that one.
Don't spit out.
Mm.
Don't actually chew it.
What are they for?
Breaking your teeth?
No, they taste delicious.
Dentist appointments?
They taste delicious.
Can you go try a little bit? You see yourself? You want to try a little bit?
What do you think? Is it good? Is it good?
Well, I found that the rats chewed up most of the wiring of this dishwasher. Not the power, but the other wires. So I think what we're going to do is remove the dishwasher and just make that some sort of a storage cove. So I think the best thing to do in this case is just eliminate the dishwasher. I've never had a house where a tenant has refused to rent it because it did not have a dishwasher. And you're not going to get any less rent if it doesn't have a dishwasher in this area. They're not very high-end homes, high-dollar rents. They're just average houses for rent. So whether it has or doesn't have a dishwasher doesn't really make a difference. If it has a dishwasher, I have to maintain it. I have to keep it in repair. And I know that's something that's going to happen at the worst time possible. This is usually the way it happens. We've had some strange situations, such as a tenant who thought it would be a good idea to defrost their freezer with a hammer and a screwdriver and ended up putting a hole through the back into a coil of refrigerant. That wasn't too good. So we're going to eliminate that dishwasher and just make it some sort of little storage cove. If for some reason we cannot get this place rented, and the reason would be that I keep hearing over, oh, it doesn't have a dishwasher, then we'll address that. But for now, I think we're going to remove that and figure out what to do with this. We got a hole in the wall because to put the dishwasher in, they really did some modifications here. They cut the studs, ran some wiring, ran some water, so we're going to have to fix what we can here, patch this all up, and we'll build some sort of a little cove maybe with some shelves or that you could put a trash can in. Now where to, buddy?
The church.
Time to go to the church. He likes going on Wednesday nights to the kids' church program. Alright, here we are at our church. Is about 2 minutes away from us. Right around the corner, basically. Dropping Billy off. We've been in the area for a few years and we never went to this. There's a little church right around the corner from us. We'd gone to some other ones, but we were looking for something small and close and where a lot of people locally go. And we found this church. I'm not sure why we hadn't gone before, but it had as a few of our neighbors go, and it really feels like you're in an episode of Little House on the Prairie or the Waltons, kind of the community church. All right, just picked you up. 7 o'clock. Time to head back home and go make something to eat.
And we'll eat dinner and then watch something and then bed.
Yep. What have we been watching?
Utopia?
Zootopia? We finished the first Zootopia, now we're on the second Zootopia.
I
We didn't
bet-
start the second one
I
yet.
bet in a year they're gonna make the third one. And
Maybe.
that's gonna be the last one.
Maybe. They just made a Zootopia,
2.
a ride, well, not really a ride, but a show. We
Yes.
saw that at Animal Kingdom last time we went. And we'll see what they do this time. We're going back to Animal Kingdom in like 2 weeks. We'll see how it goes. No more Dinosaur Land. No more dinosaur ride either.
No more dinosaur.
No more dinosaur. They're making Indiana Jones.
Yep, and some
South America, then Kanto.
And yeah.
But I think that's probably the end of our vlog for today. Right, buddy?
Yep.
We'll continue the adventure tomorrow. See what's next.